and welcome back to another Bestestimes Reborn YouTube video. I'm your host Brad. It is the 18th of October 2025. The current time is 6:41 a.m. Let's have a look at the current temperature. Current temperature is 22.6 degrees Celsius, feels like 25.6. 96% humidity and 5 millimeters of rain since 9 a.m. yesterday. I'm your host Brad and welcome to Bestestimes Reborn. Camera around and let's get cracking. Crack-a-lackin' and all those other silly sayings under the sun, people say. Going over the Jubilee Bridge, going down Coronation Drive to see if that's all finished and all the things are taken away, the barricades, and whether they put the new chair down the end. Hopefully they have. Just add to the video. So we're over East Innisfail. There's your Innisfail Bowls Club. Lawn bowls, that is. I haven't had 10-pin bowling in Innisfail for years. But anyway, let's continue along. Do what we can do, show what we can show, as we always do. Much detail as we possibly can with what we've got. Get the secondary camera for B-roll set up. The horizon balancing on. I wish phones had horizon leveling and horizon balancing. For doing video, that would be great. Anyway, going under the Jubilee Bridge. This is the secondary Jubilee Bridge, not the original. This is a 2011 one. It was opened in 2011. I think they started it in 2010. People. The council paints over the graffiti, and then of course people have got to re-graffiti on there. So there's under the Jubilee Bridge, across to the Fitzgerald Esplanade over there, the boat ramp, that direction. Okay. So we're now on Coronation Drive, Tom Uren Way. There's the Ashton Street, Agnes Street, Coronation Drive intersection. So to the left is Ashton, to the right is Coronation, and straight ahead is Agnes. Anyway, let's go along and have a good look as much as we can. Yeah, Tom Uren Way, Honourable Tom Uren MP, Federal Minister for Local Government and Administrative Services, 20th of May 1987. A Cyclone Winifred Assistance Project. I'm sure you get a chance to read it. It's back towards the bridge. Like I always try to do, get as much detail as possible, as best as we can. It is getting quite hot, so it makes it a little harder. A little sweaty. Not as enjoyable. Still worth it. Just getting a couple more photos. They'll end up on the end of the video if they turn out good, as usual, or used for the thumbnail of the video. Let's get moseying on along Coronation Drive, East Innisfail, in Innisfail, Queensland, Australia. In the wet tropics. Had rain overnight, as you can tell. The concrete's all wet. The pathway. There is plenty of videos of this along here that I've taken over the time, especially when they were building the new part. over a few months and that. And there's older video showing the way it used to be, which was very crumbly, rough concrete. There's stuff that's all like the really old school blue metal type stuff through it. Like this has that, but this is much better quality cement. So, but anyway, yeah, they were supposed to be putting another one of these chairs further up, closer to the East Innisfail State School, but on the opposite side of the pathway. So the guys were telling me that we're building all this. So I think some of the barricades are still up there, just past Fitzgerald Street. It's a little frustrating. Hopefully they put a railing up there if they haven't already. Make it a bit safer. A lot of birds in these trees as usual. Oh, there's usually so many nests in these trees. In one of my Innisfail is Beauty videos I showed that. So that tree or the tree before it, I think it was this one that I showed in the video. Back where we just came from. So to my left is Coronation Drive, to my right it's all mangroves and stuff, and then the Johnston River. We're coming up where Fitzgerald Street is. We're only going to go down where we normally go, just down to the school and back. It's getting hotter and hotter. For my health, it's better to just get what I can get. I mean, I always go the extra kilometre, extra mile, whatever you want to call it. There's the mangroves through there. I've never seen a crocodile along there. There is crocodiles in the Johnston River, so don't swim in it. Simple as that. Probably hear the birds in the tree, and a couple of trees there. It looked like when they were building this new part that they were going to have one of those parts where you could walk off, like a bit of a, not an off ramp, or sort of over here. It was all marked out and everything, but they must have decided not to do it. Yeah, it was definitely marked out. You can see it in some of my old videos along here from earlier in the year. Would have been good. Would have been good to have one down to the fitness equipment and the table and chairs. There's Fitzgerald Street. So here's the newer part of the track. Oh, so smooth and nice. Hope it's built to last. Reminds me of a song called Like a Race Car by Hawk Nelson. When I said that, they sing in it, this race car was built to last. Cut the corners if you'd like to. Take me away. So, yeah, about this being built to last. That's what made me think of that song. Yeah, Hawk Nelson. Like a race car. If you look that up on YouTube Music, it's on there. Yeah, they still haven't put any sort of railing on here. People have mentioned it on Facebook that they'd like a railing there. Maybe eventually. Getting all overgrown and not so nice behind it, between the retaining wall and the road. I think if you build things, you've got to maintain them, or be a lot more work later on. You get regular maintenance, like leaf blowing and pressure washing, weeding, edging, whatever makes a difference. So there's Burnwell Street to my left. We'll get up a bit closer, I'll turn the camera so you can see it. There's Burnwell Street. And Ostanzala up ahead. And that's where they put in the footpath when I was talking to the chappies that day. They were doing it. They were in the process of doing it. So let's walk down there and have a look. Very stiff. Yeah. Should have an actual hand railing for the steps too. For this here. But this is where I was talking about. It's gone all overgrown. Doesn't look as nice. The sort of weed type vines are growing over there, over the footpath already. So Johnston River across to the Bamboo Creek Bridge. And this here, where I was hoping they'd cut back that tree a bit so you could see across to there when you're sitting down. See across, it'd be a much nicer view. Putting all these here, they're all going to grow up too high. That's what I said to the guys at the time when they were constructing it all. Right at the end I was talking to them. I said that to them, it's like, it's going to end up blocking the view. Well, it'll get cut back. Maybe not too. Oh, it's an old sort of wharf type jetty more so down there. So I'm taking a photo of because I can't really zoom far enough on the camera that I'm using for video, but I can on the phone one. So they'll end up on the end, like I said before, if possible. So they come out clear enough. The lighting's not exactly great on a slightly overcast day. But looking straight ahead, probably what you see in the camera is quite fine. A bit of blue skies and all that. Like when I was walking in one other day, it seemed like that it was blue skies on the video, but around when I was saying there were storms. It was when I was testing the DJI Nano camera. I mentioned that it was all overcast around and that it was lightning in Tully on the lightning tracker and that. There's Bartle Street. B-A-R-T-L-E. Might have been able to see the water tower. It's not as easy to see on camera. I can see it in person from here. Might be able to see it over there. The water tower along Brilliant Road. Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, one of these, it looked like they were putting in further down. Back where I mentioned it before. But they had them marked out. Of course, people have driven over it with mud and everything. It looks horrible. Ostanzala, if you know, you know. And the location of Ostanzala. So back where we just came from. You can see a bit more detail. Someone coming along, I think, with a dog. Although it's hard to tell from a distance. And then when we get down near the school, we'll turn around and come back, as we do. Coming up to Shoe Street on the left. Yeah, it's a chappie with a dog. Turn the camera the other direction when they get up closer for respect. These trees could do with being cut back a bit. I'm going to snap sense of them so the council knows. They're getting pretty low. When it rains, you get saturated with that. Those two people. Overgrown vegetation. I'll do. Let's continue along. Yeah, it's a man and a woman with a dog. Nice looking dog too, very nice. Yeah, there's a lot of overgrown along here. Alright, we'll turn the camera towards Chew Street. Nosy on along. Good morning.
You do great work.
Yeah, thank you. The lady's like, oh, you do great work. Wow, this is dirty here. Yeah, this is where the tree canopy is that I used to always show. But they removed some of it for the footpath and that. Yeah, it was really nice tree canopy along here. Yeah, you never know the reach of the videos until someone that you don't know says something. It's good to preserve the area through video, like a time capsule, like a video time capsule. Imagine looking back at these in 20, 30, 40 years time, seeing these videos and seeing the changes actually, you know, if you're around Innisfail in those times, like in 20 years time, think, oh, that's changed, oh, this is different, oh, that's different. Being able to do that, priceless. You know, people talk about the Bluebird Cafe and this place and that place from, you know, the 50s, 60s and all that. It would have been awesome if people had photos and videos of the inside. So, well, I've done 3 kilometres, that's from home to here, to this particular location. Oh, they've put this chair in, is what I was talking about. Yep, they've put this seat in, that's awesome. Because last time I come along they hadn't done it now, and it's been screwed into the concrete really good, that's great. So it's across from where the boat sank many years ago, up here, back where we just came from, so we can see a little bit more detail. Always great to see. Yeah, always good to see a fair bit of detail. Yeah, I wonder why what they're thinking of doing here, because they've put in the things that count how many cars and that go across. Go down the road and that. Or they're going to put in a new road. It'd be nice if all this was maintained and it would look great. The problem with having all the leaves and stuff on here, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy or a negative Nelly or a negative Darnell, as I've heard. It makes it slippery when it's all wet. And especially people with mobility issues would struggle. And when there's mud on here and all that, makes it very hard. Oh, looks like work's being done on the... Is that... Can't tell whether that's whether that's blue care or the... I think that's blue care. Tropical roofing, I think it says. Oh, we'll quickly go for a walk across there and have a look. So if you see different things happening around, let me know. On old new Innisfail photos on Facebook, take photos and put them up there. Let us know where they are. Give us a heads up, because I can't get to everywhere regularly just to check. Walking ridiculous kilometres and nothing's happening. Nice to actually get a heads up on what's happening. I'll be back in a second. Someone walking along with the dogs. So we're heading towards Marillion Road, which used to be the main highway. Back in the day, that's why there were service stations and things like that along here, and more corner stores than you usually have. Milk bars, whatever you want to call them. I saw the photo, I think it was on Innisfail News and Views, that Tropical Vets put up an old photo of their building, their old signage from the 90s. It was very interesting to see. I've just taken photos of their now sign. Be interesting to look back at too. If you ever have any photos like that, feel free to put them on old new Innisfail photos on Facebook. Be much appreciated. I've got a photo there of the blue care. Hopefully it shows up on the video. They're doing work, and we'll get the Tropical Vet sign a bit better. Get closer, it'll come up a bit clearer. Tropical Vet Services. It's not far away from Clancy Street intersection. Reborn Road, Clancy Street, Coronation Drive, sort of thing. There's where the old Shell service station. It was a computer shop for a while there. Phone and computer solutions. It's changed names a few times. Anyway, there's your Tropical Vets. How many vets have they got? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they mentioned 5 on there. Wow. I mean, people ask me, oh, can you show houses and this and that? If I'm facing the camera straight ahead and they're to the left, to the right, well, then I can, but otherwise, no, out of respect, out of privacy. All right, that looks like Blue Care parked the vehicles over here now. Well, they might have always, and I just haven't noticed it. But I'm usually one to notice things like that. Yeah. These Blue Care cars. Oh, it's alright. Whatever works. Might walk along here on Coronation Drive for a bit, so we can see a little bit more from this side, the way it is. Sorry about the nose running. That time of the year, I spray sprays, and yeah, sprays work when they want to. The sinuses and allergies and whatever else under the sun, it makes it happen. So here's where they've put in the thing to see how much traffic. Of course, it's probably pressure sensitive, so if I stand on it, it's not going to make any difference. Probably have to be of a lot more weight. That's where that new seat is. Over there, I was referring to earlier. Anyway, let's continue along. A lot of sandy stuff on the road, making a lot of noise. I walk along, it's going to flick up onto my back of my legs too. It's usually the way it works with this stuff. It's all just washed off from over here. Anyway, the camera straight ahead, whatever shows to the left and the right shows, like we do. Sounds of suburbia, the dogs, usually dogs, wicker snippers, or hedge trimmers and mowers and leaf blowers. So the sounds of suburbia that I usually wait for, usually expect to hear. Like that. What is it now? 7:06 a.m. Yeah, tonight's hour. There's Shoe Street. It's a very, very, very steep hill. I have walked up there before in the past, but I don't think I could nowadays. It's too much. There's across to the footpath and that, new pathway. Nice flowers to my right, but I can't show it because it's right up in people's yard. Whew, something coming along. Yeah, getting quite sweaty now. Getting to that sort of time where it gets like that. But anyway, we're near Ostanzella again. Close to Bartle Street. A few dark clouds around again. Very humid sort of day. So Bartle Street, just here where that shed's on the corner of. And we'll get back onto the footpath. Look back where we just came from. Get more detail as we do. Walk on one of these pathways onto the new pathway. Pardon me. So we're heading back towards the Jubilee Bridge now. That direction. There's Bartle Street. Very sunny that direction. Wow. One thing I do have to buy for this camera is some filters, so we can filter out when it's too bright, but then the lighting changes so drastically and so often. I'd have to be changing them every couple of minutes. So it makes it hard. Need to get ones that are variable ones that'll, some of them change automatically. I do like all these plants being here before they put the seed here, but I think it's going to make it hard to see. Well, let's have a look at what the view would be just from standing height. Got the camera just above the seat where you'd sit. This is the view you'd see now. And we'll see what it's like in the future when we come along. Yeah, it looks beautiful now. Such an amazing view. I like the reflections, the clouds, the rippling of the water, plus the reflections of the trees. Just take a minute to appreciate it. I did show all this in one of my Innisfail beauty videos. You can see all that. There's Benwell Street, Benwell, or one word. It's where they really need to put up railing, the retaining wall area. I'm very happy with what they've done so far. Yeah, it's quite impressive along here. So much nicer to walk on. Wider too for people to ride push bikes past. And although if you keep to one side and not walk in the middle, and that. Bit of mud on there, and dog poo. You can see the water tower through there. I don't know how well it'll show up. It's hard because I don't want to show people's houses, even though it's nice to look back. Oh, I remember that house being there. Nice to be able to do that, but you know, as stated earlier, it's not really a viable option. always kick off branches and twigs and stuff that are on the pathways, any of the pathways I walk on, so they're not in people's way. Getting close to the Fitzgerald Street. Nobody said the Fitzgerald Esplanade. Well, I did just say it then. But yeah, someone taking photos or video or something of the birds up there. They say it was a photo because he faced the camera up and then a few seconds later he moved it. So yeah, that's Fitzgerald Street there with that tree that's been there forever. I remember that tree in the very early 90s. Someone coming on a push bike, I think. Well, I'll stick to this side. It's nice to stick to the side so they got room to go past. I don't like flashing lights on push bikes. I think that's distracting for people driving. Can be distracting, especially if they're bright. I think it should be a solid light. That's just my opinion. Just for safety. At least they've got a light. That's one thing I appreciate. Oh, they're on this side. Are they going to move off or do I have to move over? Oh, I don't mind moving over. It's not hard. Oh, we've got the runny nose. Very frustrating. You look very happy. Yeah, but anyway, back onto the older part, not the oldest, but, well, it's the oldest part there now, of this end, because the old part's gone. Yeah, I wish they'd have done this a few years ago when they did up all this part, about 5 or 6, maybe 10 years ago now. If they'd have done the whole thing, pardon me, all the way down to the Centenary Bridge, would have been awesome. So there's that tree with all the birds and that in it. I don't know how well you'll see the birds with the lighting. And the nests galore in this part. There's your Coronation Drive itself, the road over there. Whoa, hopefully that showed up. A lot of birds flew out of the trees and then flew back. Sort of looped back. Hopefully that showed up. Wow. Yeah, we always like to see the beauty around us, natural and man-made. Like beautiful trees, beautiful buildings, beautiful flowers, animals, insects, all that stuff. Whatever we can show. There's beautiful flowers that aren't in someone's yard, we'll show it. It's very hard when they're in someone's yard without permission to show. There's some nice flowers on this, but this next tree, the taller one, but I don't know how well they'll show up on video. Can't wait till they start putting the bins back, because they said they were going to. The council said they were going to put some. They said it on one of their live streams. I'm going to start putting the bins back along here. This is one of the spots, Coronation Drive, that they mentioned. I want some public bins at the Gundy Sports Ground. That'd be good to see. Out across from the PCYC there, Leichhardt Street. There's a beautiful tree canopy here. Hopefully it'll show up. How nice it is. The things growing on the branches and the trunk. Very nice. Back where we just came from. "10,000 steps start. Every step counts." You never know, one day that sign may not be there. So it's interesting to properly show it. You know how things work. Come along one day, oh, that's right, there was a sign there, that's gone now. Or, yeah, that happens. Or, oh, I didn't know that business was going, that happens too. You don't always find out. T walk past and Deb's Forest is gone. Oh, well, so I was going to ask if I could get some photos and video in there. Didn't realise they were closing down. I was thinking that one day when it was closed. And the next time I come along, it was gone. And I said that to someone else and they said, oh yeah, it was on Facebook. The problem with Facebook, one of the issues is if you don't see it straight away, sometimes so many people comment on things that posts go way down the list and you've got to be looking for hours, doom scrolling as a lot of people call it, down to actually eventually see whatever it is. So if you have no idea that it's going to be there to even see, then you're not going to be looking for it. So it makes it hard. Like some events, it's like, oh, when's that on? And you look and it was like yesterday, or it'll say 5 days ago or something. Whatever post it is. There's a bird singing there. Tweeting. Hopefully you can hear it. Hopefully that's coming up on there. Good. Oh, staying there. Oh, can't tell if that's a wagtail or not. I don't think so. Not too sure whether it's a Willie William wagtail. There's your lawn bowls again to my left. Nice tweeting. Anyway, continue along, we'll go along the bridge. We might finish the video at the end of the bridge, pack up and go home. It's getting a little bit too warm now. Jubilee Bridge, South Johnson River, flowing underneath it. But somebody told me off once for saying this was the South Johnson River. They were telling me that the one which is called the North Johnson River, they were telling me, no, that's the South Johnson River, not this one. This is the North Johnson River that goes through town, near town and that. Jubilee Bridge and stuff. Oh, they got really upset with me. Kept carrying on. Got really angry. I said, well, the sign says it's South Johnson River. The sign put up by the council or Main Roads or whoever does it. Well, they didn't like it. I wasn't all prideful about it. It's just something I knew for a fact what it was. Because it's not out at South Johnson doesn't mean it's not the South Johnson River. This part. So people have got to understand. I'm getting told off for saying King George Park instead of Anzac Park, or saying both. See, a lot of people know it as Anzac Park, and a lot of people know it as King George Park, and a lot of people know it as both. So I like to say both at times so people know what I'm talking about. You know, it makes more sense. Okay, they got the Memorial Gate there, King George Memorial Gate. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Bestestimes, keeping memories alive for us and future generations to see, for us to be able to look back at. If you want to help the channel out, there's links in the description. Shout out to the chappie who donated the other day. Much appreciated. I won't mention the name due to privacy, his privacy and that, but it's much appreciated. To get old new Innisfail photos on Facebook, feel free to put your own old and new photos between Babinda and Cardwell, and including Babinda and Cardwell, everywhere in between. Keep it all G-rated, of course. No bullying, no drug references, no alcohol references, no filth, all that. Anyway, this is Bestest Times. Wait for these people to go past. This is Bestest Times, always creating family-friendly content. You can watch with family, no swearing, anything like that. Anyway, stay safe, stay cool, and in this sort of weather, stay dry. And we'll catch you in the next one.